Hello everyone, and welcome to Channel 18 TV News. I'm Don Julian, filling in for Jim Rogers today. An 18-year-old Sherman woman was arrested shortly after 10 p.m. Tuesday for having drugs in the Hopkins County Jail. Jail personnel came to suspect the inmate had narcotics on her person. She was taken to an interview room where she admitted having 1.4 grams of methamphetamine in the pocket of her jail shirt. She said she hid the drugs when she was booked into the jail earlier in connection with a theft case from Walmart involving her and several other people. Madison Marie Olivia Darst was charged with having an illegal substance in a correctional facility, possession of a controlled substance, and engaging in organized criminal activity in that theft case. J.P. Brad Cummings set bonds totaling $40,000. Incumbent State Representative Dan Flynn announced Tuesday night that he will be seeking re-election. Representative Flynn from Van is currently serving in his 6th term as state representative. He represents several counties, including Hopkins County. In a statement, Representative Flynn said that he has represented the conservative values of his district consistently and to the best of his ability, adding it would be an honor to serve House District 2 for another term. Flynn said his district is looking for solutions, not sound bites, results, not rhetoric. He said he has gotten results. As chair of the House Pensions Committee in the last legislative session, Flynn said he passed legislation to stabilize the teacher retirement health care, the employee retirement system, and pension systems for both the cities of Dallas and Houston. Flynn said he also authored legislation to require the use of American law on American soil.
Beautiful Indian summer weather. Well, that's the sign it's almost time for Indian Summer Day at Heritage Park. It's set for October 7th. Let's find out all the details from volunteers Rick Wilson and Carly Pinson.
We've got a good bunch of folks that are there. We could use 100 more. Easy,
okay.
Easy. We could, anybody that wants to volunteer is welcome to come out and volunteer. We can find projects from mowing to helping fix the houses to just doing docent work in the museum. And so, yes, there's all kinds of planning and things that we need out there.
Well, we know Rick Wilson from the Dutch Oven Cook-Off, which we're going to have. But before we talk about that, let's shift over to that museum, and it's out front of the Heritage Park. It's been there for all time.
1910.
Yes. Still people don't know we have it. Carly?
A lot of folks that live in Hopkins County or lived here and moved away do not realize that that museum and the park are there.
There.
The house was built, the museum, which was a home, was built in 1910 by Mr. George Wilson. And Rick can tell you a little bit about Mr. Wilson.
Okay.
Well, the house was actually, like Carly said, was built in 1910 by George H. and Myra Jane Wilson. They were very productive folks in the community of that time. He was a brick man, and they not only did brick work, but the old city hall was built by them.
Wow.
A lot of the buildings downtown were built with the brick that were produced and made on site right there in Heritage Park.
Really?
There's areas of the old kilns still stand back in the back of the park. People don't realize that some of the walls are still back there.
My word.
And they built the house, and it's a very unique house the way it's built. It's about 18 inches wide, exterior walls. And was built like that because Myra Jane was afraid of storms. So they she designed and he built that house. And
amazing.
It's a unique home. Unique home.
You can tour the whole thing when you come see the museum, and in the museum are all kinds of things from Hopkins County's past.
County, yes.
And it's just room after room, and,
Yep.
and it's fascinating, and you'll want to take time to look through there.
Yeah.
If you can't see it all in one run, then come back again,
Yeah.
because Carly knows hours and how much it costs.
Yes, it's $5 per person, unless you're under 12 years of age. It's $1 if you are under 6. $3 if you're between the age of 6 and 12, and then $5 for adults to tour.
Okay.
We are open on Tuesdays from 10 to 2, and we're open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 2.
Okay, through Saturday, 10 to 2. Tuesday through Saturday. So,
Yes.
and that's year-round? And there's someone
Yes,
there?
yes, except for holidays, of course.
Okay, and the person that's there is called a docent?
A docent, yes.
And you're a docent on Fridays?
Yes, we're, and sometimes other days, but my regular day is Fridays. And we try to document the things that happen. That's why we're called docents.
Okay.
We document the things that happen on that particular day, and there are a lot of interesting people that come in and visit the museum. They're searching for history of their relatives, items that perhaps they had forgotten about. There's a lot of interesting folks from different parts of our country that come in to visit the museum.
Fascinating. So plan that to be part of Indian Summer Day when you come over on
Yes.
October the 7th, and get there early in the morning to see the cooking fires get going
Right?
for the cook-off. You can be in it.
Sure can. It's not too late. Anybody who wants to join can. Just come on out. Call me at 903-885. Oh, wrong number. That's a
Okay,
hard
what
number.
is your real number?
9296
Yeah.
9692.
9692 or
and 692.
335-2752. That's the best number. That's my cell phone.
Okay, we'll put those out again. So, John Chester, and he has a lot of standing. The reason why we call this cook-off in his name. And you were friends with Johnny.
Yes,
He left an impact on a whole bunch of us.
sure did.
He could sling that iron, couldn't he?
Yeah, sure could. Sure could.
And so the Dutch Oven Cook-Off will take place the morning of October 7th in Heritage Park.
Right. We hope to be able to start serving somewhere around 11, between 11 and 11:30. And it's come in sample, and it's $5 a plate, and that's pretty cheap for a lot of sampling.
Breads cooked in Dutch ovens, delicious breads.
We cook, the participants cook a meat, a bread, a vegetable, a dessert, and we do give prizes for all this, plus first, second, and third. So there's plenty of prize money out there to get for somebody to take home something.
Do youngsters cook in this?
Yes, we have a youth division. I know right now I have 2 youth teams coming from one of the local Boy Scout troops.
All right.
So we can take more of them if they want to come join, and it's $10 entry fee for them, and you supply the food, of course, and a $25 entry fee for adult division, and you supply your food that you bring out.
Okay.
And of course, all the food is donated to the park for
For the tasting.
fundraiser.
Okay. Wonderful. It works very well that way.
Yes. It's a fundraiser for one of our major fundraisers for the park throughout the year.
There's always funds needed for something or other in your next project. I know you have put up a new fence, new privacy fence. Right. You had to do some new wiring or something there.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. There's always little work going on.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
constantly.
And then throughout the park, as you go in, either you go in the side that has the privacy fence or you go in the front gate.
Right.
Either way, it's a lovely, pleasant walk through, and you'll see all kinds of historic buildings that have been restored and put on in there for a purpose. They serve a purpose.
Right. We have in the park, we have a general store that came from Sulphur Bluff. We have the Atkins House, which was the first brick home built in Sulphur Springs. We have a two-story log cabin that was brought from the Sulphur Bluff, one of the first log cabins that was built out in the Sulphur Bluff area called the Vaden Cabin.
Okay.
We have the Fleming School from out the, oh my gosh, out around the Picton area, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And
there's a cabin there from Black Oak.
Black Oak.
Okay.
That's where
That's the schoolhouse. Okay.
Yeah. And, you know, there's the Trevilian blacksmith shop from Miller Grove. So, yes, we cover a lot of area.
In the Atkins house, which is an oddly built shaped house,
right.
Reassembled on this site, did the Wilson brick people build that?
No, they did not.
Okay.
It was actually, I'm not sure. Let me rephrase that. I'm not sure if those brick came in or not. Were they?
Probably not.
I think it was
we don't
before.
think so.
Okay.
They were doing brick, but they were mostly out in the Tyra area when that house was built.
So besides touring the buildings on October 7th, will there be like vendors and artisans?
There will be a number of vendors doing different things. Actually, there'll be one in the Atkins house. We have several activities going on that day, and Rick is pleased to announce that we are scheduled to have our Indian dancers back this year as one of our attractions.
He'll be able to come back again this year and put on shows.
Yes, and also newly added to the events of the day will be the Texas History Reenactment Group, which this group comes from Kaufman County. There will be a small group doing reenactment skits at different times throughout the day. So that's an added attraction, and I believe you would not want to miss them.
Wow. Okay, so we're not going to do live music this time, really. We're going to do...
we will have recorded music throughout the day, but not live music.
Okay. And we'll have these visiting groups, and that's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's a lot of color.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how much does it cost to do all this on October 7th?
It costs $3 to get in, unless you are 6 or under, and that's free. For adults, it's $3, and that's to come at 9 and stay to 3 if you want to. The Dutch oven plates will be sold separately. The tickets for those are $5 per plate. There will be a concession stand also if you wanted drinks, or if you wanted to eat a hot dog or some other type of thing from the concession stand.
Okay. So really, for your admission and your lunch, $8 altogether.
$8 altogether.
What a bargain.
Yeah. Can't beat it.
And you can't find this kind of thing, what we offer there as far as our history and heritage and just the touch with the pioneer skills that you get from being on site.
Yeah.
You can't just get that anywhere.
No.
Because it is our history.
It's our history, yes.
Yes, and we're trying to preserve it. We will have a lady also that day doing the potter's wheel, making pottery at the potter's wheel. We will have a fellow that is associated with Texas Historical Society doing a presentation on Caddo Indians in Texas. There's just a lot of things that will be going on that day. We will have a Dutch oven demo in conjunction with the cook-off. So there's just things for everybody. There will be an archery demo. We have a couple of very, very good archery students that have participated in the tri-state area. They will be giving a demo throughout the day on archery, and we urge the youth to become involved in that because it's such a growing
maybe
such a growing
activity.
thing.
Okay, wonderful. And these are things that offered. There's really too much to tell in this 15-minute interview. So please go and spend the Indian Summer Day, October 7th, at Heritage Park on Jackson Street, next to the co-op. Right. It's a beautiful 11-acre gym right inside our town.
Yep.
And if you want to cook in the Dutch oven contest, get a hold of Rick. Have we got out-of-town cookers coming in?
Out of state.
Okay.
And out of town.
Great.
Yep.
And fun and food for the whole family.
Absolutely.
And it's so affordable.
Yeah. Wonderful kids' activities, face painting, balloon blowing, hula hoops, candle dipping.
Okay.
So, yeah, a lot of things.
Any other closing words, Rick?
No, not really. I mean, we've pretty well covered everything. I'm been, 8-9 years. This is the first time I'm going to be able to cook. I get to cook. I get to cook with Miss Marie this year.
Do you?
Johnny's mother, and I'm looking forward to that. And I think she is, and
wonderful.
My son's going to run the event, so that makes it good for me. So I get to really participate again, and I'm looking forward to that as well.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both for being here. We'll see you at Heritage Park on October 7th.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for.
After compiling a 2-2 record in non-district games, the Wildcats football team begins district play against Pine Tree Friday night at Gerald Prim Stadium. During his weekly media gathering Wednesday morning, Wildcats football coach Greg Owens commented on practice this week with district play beginning.
I mean, some days are good, some days are bad. We're dealing with 16, 17-year-olds, so, I mean, for the most part, it deals with the weather, too, to be brutally honest with you. And so if it's hot, we're down. If it's cool, we're a little giddy and sometimes lose focus. But for the most part, we think we're focused, and we hope we're focused, and we're focusing on a district championship and working towards that and getting better.
What's the importance of the first district game? I know you want to get off to a good start.
It's just that, get off to a good start. I mean, your leg up. You got to win in district, and this is one of those guys we need to beat. Make sure we stay where we need to be. So our goal is to go win a district championship, and so it starts. You need to win the first one to go be able to do that. And I mean, still where we are right now, really. 5th ball game, yeah, you're halfway through almost, but I mean the reality of it is we're still trying to get better every week. I mean we're still trying to get better and consistent, and the same stuff I said last week as far as that stuff goes. So just gotta keep grinding at it, keep getting it, and we may be bumping some guys around a little bit, trying to find the best matches. And we've had 4 weeks now preseason to evaluate where we're at and what we need. So we don't think somebody's getting it done there. We think there's another matchup, then we're going to move some folks around and just try to see if we can get a spark going and keep it going and find some cohesiveness within groups on offense and defense.
Just trying to create some competition at some positions to try to get the best out of
yes, I mean competition's always good. I mean you got depth and you got a chance to challenge somebody in front of you, but at the same time I'm hoping at this point that they're self-motivated to do something about it, and get themselves better, and not coach have to put another guy behind you to challenge you. I hope we're to the point we can do that. So we're getting closer.
This looks like the most wide open district race maybe in years. It just seemed like everybody, I know Pine Tree really hadn't kind of stepped up, but they could make a statement Friday. But it seems very, very wide open from Greenville, Texas High all the way down.
Well, I mean, you never know about the competition everybody's playing. You never know about. I mean, everybody's in the same boat we are. You're still trying to figure out who your team is and do you have an identity yet? You got these new guys that are coming to the district. T-High and Marshall and these coaches, and they're trying to establish their systems in there, and their kids figure them out. They're trying to figure out the kids they have and how they're going to work in their system. So, it's still wide open. You don't know. We're still figuring out, what guys hang their hats on. What are they really? What's the bread and butter? What do we make sure we have to stop? Those kind of things. And it's pretty clear to us this week what we've got to stop. I mean, there's not much of a question on that, but we still hadn't looked at all those other guys yet. I mean, you sit there, you can look at the guys in the past, and we knew, okay, he's going to run this, and this, but the new guys now, you never know. They may change something week to week on you a little bit, and so just hadn't had a chance to study them too much yet. We're just worried about 1 week at a time.
What does Pine Tree do that you said you have to stop? What is their main focus on?
Pine Tree offensively, I mean, they got big linemen, and they're going to block down and run the power. I mean, that's we know we got to get physical. We're going to have to be, we've seen big kids already this year, and so we're going to have to get after them up front and not get pushed around, and we've got to stop the power on offense. And so they'll do that in a couple different ways. They got a wildcat package they do it out of. They got a running quarterback too. That's more of their passer they do it out of. But you're going to ask me what's the percentages? It's probably 70-30 run to pass is what I would say. They try to play action off of that. They have not been real accurate with their passing game, and hope that doesn't improve this week with their guys. But they like some play action stuff off of it. Just haven't really been consistent at their drop back stuff yet. And so they're still working on some of those things. But then they'll put the big kid that's also their B-back in the backfield, number 2, and they'll do a wildcat package with him. And with that, it pretty much is a 100% run. They're downhill, and here they come. So bring some more linemen in, and again, they got some big boys. So you guys have a scouting report. You can see the sizes. So they're big, and they're pretty physical, and so it's another one of those kind of Paris looks. With the big line coming at you. So we got our guys have to get after it. Defensively, they're primarily an even, all right. And but I don't know what it is this year. But this year just seems like it's the year of the defensive linemen because they have 2 defensive ends like last week. Whitehouse. I mean, they got 2 good ones also. One's a fast, explosive guy. It's got a lot of length. He can come off the ball. And, he's what we would call a speed rusher kind of person, very athletic, jump up, knocking balls down. I mean, he's a guy. Then on the other side is more of a physical kind of a player. And then inside, they got a couple guys inside at defensive tackle that have big motors. They're coming hard and they're getting after you. And so, again, we're challenging our offensive line to step up and be physical and maintain blocks and stay on blocks and do all those things. So it's been a fun week for them, double teaming and making sure we're doing all those kind of things and securing up some pass protection stuff. Offensively, I think we've kind of simplified some things just a little bit. We've looked at a lot of guys, and now we're kind of simplifying just a little bit, know what we got, and trying to find out exactly what we're going to hang our hat on this week too. So defensively, we got to continue to run around. Make plays, be aggressive, get in the backfield and cause disruptions. And what we really haven't done yet is cause turnovers. I mean, we need some turnovers and to just give us a little spark, motivate us. But that's our goal right now, and I'm trying to get better at all that stuff.
Does it surprise you that Pine Tree's 0-4 with all the things you said about them?
They've been playing some decent guys.
Yeah,
they really have. I mean, they played some people. Kilgore can play. Kilgore takes Texas High double overtime. Mm-hmm. The kind of athletes Texas High has. So, I mean, these guys. I mean, they played Jacksonville. Jacksonville's much improved. And those guys they've got some athletes. And so it's some of that stuff we're sitting there looking at, going that they're playing some pretty good folks. And so and they're trying to figure it out. They're trying to get their pieces together too. So they've been competitive in those ball games and getting after it. So.
Part of it, you think, maybe the growing pains of a new coach and new system?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, it's like all of us. I mean, everybody's trying to fit your pieces in.
Yeah. They still don't resemble Gilmer very much offensively or defensively.
Well, not too many do.
Really?
Doesn't have a player.
Just athletically, I mean, it's about personnel. I mean, he wants to do that stuff. He's taking Gilmer's run game, and installing it, but he's not doing as much with his quarterback or the fly sweep stuff that Gilmer does, just because he doesn't have those kind of kids.
Yeah. I understand, though, that Pine Trees, they have one quarterback that apparently is pretty fast.
Yeah, and number 9. I mean, he's the mover. The other kid's number 2 is the big, tall kid we saw last year. They kept coming on and kept getting better as they progressed. They played him some at quarterback early in the year. It looks like 9's going to be the primary guy. He throws a little better, and he can run too. He can get on the edge. So, that makes us nervous because, if we're dropping 8, we're trying to cover too much or whatever. We're not spying the guy. I mean, he can make some plays and move the chains.
So 2 is more their wildcat back kind
He's the
guy.
wildcat, the big H. He's just a hybrid tight end kid. They move around, fullback kid. Good-looking kiddo. He looks like the Chumley kid from years ago that's now starting in North Texas. I mean, he's just a big old physical cat, and big long body, long arms, and he doesn't look like a burner, but I mean, it's like a freight train moving. I mean, he can move. He's just big. I mean, he falls forward for 3 yards. So that's a challenge for us, and we finally got him stopped last year, and we started scoring some points, and then it kind of changed the dynamic of what they were having to do and trying to start throwing now to catch up. So that all stuff still feeds each other.
their O-line, or would you, some of the defensive coaches thought they were kind of comparable? You mentioned to Paris and maybe Avalon too. They thought they had kind of offensive line.
That's accurate. That's accurate. The big physical kiddos, and I don't know if they move as well as some of those guys just yet. It's hard to tell some of that on video until you line up and face them, but they know what they're doing. They're double teaming, they're playing their strengths, trying to kick out with the number 2 and blocking everybody else down. We got to feel and fit and tackle well.
As far as defensive goes, their secondary, I know they've tried a lot of people back there, but they seem to kind of like the ones that have been playing back there recently. Look like they may have settled in down there.
Yeah, I haven't looked at too many of the numbers back there. I'm not big on the numbers in the back end so much, but they still kind of play off you a little bit like White House was. They're not as talented as White House's secondary, which was very good. Those guys knew exactly what they're doing. They knew how to trigger. Parrish's guys triggered, but these guys just kind of play off of you and try not to get beat deep, and they try to rally up. But they're not just quite as athletic as those other guys. So it's kind of a similar look. We know what we're going to see, and now it's just about making the plays over there and taking care of business.
Sound like a key for us might be executing the mid-range passing game, because if they're going to be hanging back.
Well, it's still about us. These first 4 weeks have really been about us. It'll probably continue to be that way. It's just taking care of doing the little things right. We got to get first downs. We can't take losses. We can't get stuffed in the backfield or blow a band call or get knocked off the ball and lose yardage. We're just not good enough right now, or confident enough in ourselves right now to overcome that on a consistent basis. We can't get put in 3rd and longs and 2nd and longs, and we've got to get some manageable stuff. So first down, we need to, we got to catch the ball that hits us right in the hands. We got to make the block that gives us. Now we're looking at a 2nd 5 and 3rd and 5, and those are more manageable downs for us at this point.
The Lady Cats volleyball team won handily against Marshall 3-0 in Wildcat Gym Tuesday night. The Lady Cats are now 3-2 in district play. After the match, I talked with Lady Cats volleyball coach Justin Manus. Coach, kind of taking care of business against a Marshall team that you should beat, and I thought everybody you trotted out there looked very, very good tonight.
That's just part of that consistency I said I've been seeing in the past couple of matches. We kind of rolled over into tonight. We missed more serves than I wanted to, but as far as executing and doing small things, we're starting to do that with more consistency, and that's going to be important as we go into the second half of district.
Yeah, I think Mika Van Bentham, you mentioned there are a number of kills, 11 or something like that. She really was hammering that ball tonight.
Yeah, she's really found her rhythm in the past 4 or 5 matches. She had 11 kills on no errors. Wow. So that's a pretty impressive night for any hitter. So we just need her to keep getting better and playing consistent.
There were a few service misses, but from the last time I saw them, it looked much improved. And I know you've been working hard on that high risk, high reward serve, and it's really begun to pay off now. They were handcuffing a lot of the Marshall players on those serves.
Yeah, we've been working a lot on float serves, and they're really hard to pass. The risk with that is that you can miss a few, but if you get them in, you can get a lot of aces to counter that. And so that's what we're trying to do, is trying to get teams out of system. And that's what we did to Marshall. They weren't able to set the ball up much. They were sending it back over to us, and that's what we want. We want you to give us the ball so we can set up an offense.
Also, you had some nice runs in there, there's some really long ones, and then, this match opened with a 4-0 Andon Hammock, and that was just, you had a lot of that this evening.
We talk about setting tone, and it's important to come out and get up like that. The key is staying up like that. Sometimes people get comfortable, teams get comfortable, and we've been talking about we can't get comfortable, we got to play consistent.
Now, Pine Tree will be coming in here on Friday, and one of the district's best teams, and you say that, and there's about 4 or 5 in that list.
Yes, there's going to be 4 of us at least that are going to be battling every time we play each other. Pine Tree, I think they're about like us as far as the district goes, as far as wins and losses. They're going to come in knowing what's at stake, and we know what's at stake. It's important that we play well at home. Win the ones we need to win at home, and try to get those wins on the road.
Yeah, you don't want to start losing at home. because you will be going into some tough places, and you don't want to have to depend on winning there.
Oh, most definitely. You don't want to put your back against the wall, and count on that. And we don't want to count on anybody else beating somebody else. We need to take care of business and win the matches we need to win, and we need to win all of them. And, that's just my thought. And if we do, I think we have a chance to be district champions. Somebody's got to knock off Texas High, but we definitely have a chance.
A little bit of a mini milestone, a 20th win. I know for your program you want to go well beyond that, closer to that 30 mark that you had last year, but 20 wins is 20 wins.
No, it's always good to get 20 wins. That's always one of my minor goals, is to get 20. 30 is amazing. No, if we can win out, we're going to get close. I mean, we can get up to the 27, 28 mark and get into the playoffs and win a couple more. We still have a chance to get that 30. So, no, that goal is always in mind.
The Wildcats team tennis squad saw their playoff hopes dim as they lost a district match to Mount Pleasant 11-8 Tuesday at the Wildcat Tennis Complex. The Wildcats picked up only one victory in 6 girls singles and 3 girls doubles matches. Senior Jasmine Cruz took her girls singles match 6-2 and 6-3. The Wildcats also took the only mixed doubles match played, as once again the team of Heather Harris and Aaron Lucas were awesome in a 6-love win. Wildcats boys claimed 2 out of 3 matches in doubles and 4 out of 6 matches in singles. The doubles team of Alex Benitez and Jonah Kirkpatrick won 7-6 and 6-1. Doubles team of Chase Crouch and Blaine Flemons dropped a first set 1-6, but then rallied to win set 2 6-1 and the tiebreaker 10-3. Benitez also won his singles match 6-2, 7-5. Flemons won 6-1, 6-2. Lucas took a 6-3 and 6-4 win. Crouch was victorious 6-3 and 7-5. With the loss, the Wildcats slipped to 1-3 in district play. They still have district matches at Greenville next Tuesday, and then they'll host Pine Tree at the Wildcat Tennis Complex on October the 10th. And that's Channel 18 TV News for tonight. Thank you for joining me, and I'm Don Julian, filling in for Jim Rogers.
It's fine right now. Liking what you see? Not yet. Like it better within the camera's face. Go again.
All right. You've never held back before. Tell us what you really think.
Trying to change my ways, Doug.